Hello and welcome to Grape Tube Wine Club members out there. We are going to introduce you to the two wines for the Point Palates Wine Club for August 2007. For those who are new to the Point Palates Wine Club, I'll explain to you that Point Palates category is essentially any wines that fall over 90 points from the major wine critics out there, wine publications. The question is often asked, does points matter? And my quick answer to that is, if you're aligned with the critic's palate, then points definitely matter from that particular critic. It's no different than if I am someone who likes really spicy food, and you are someone that does not, and I rate, Thai restaurants in the city 99 points because they deliver the spice. My 99 points for those Thai restaurants would probably be, for someone who does not like spicy food, they're 60 points. So you really got to take in consideration that everyone certainly has their own palate. Everyone has their opinion on how they go about rating wines. The wine critics we use, however, are certainly very well respected in the industry and have tasted thousands and thousands of wines to have a reference point to what they deem as good and what they deem as bad. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first wine we are going to taste this evening is a 2004 Ridge Geyserville Zinfandel. As Paul Draper, the winemaker, often likes to do, he will blend Zinfandel with a couple other grapes. This one has 18% Carignan and 7% Petit Syrah. The basic idea behind that is just to add another level of complexity, more depth in color, another layer of spice that Zinfandel may not have on its own. As Ridge goes and as Paul Draper goes, they are a little different than most Zinfandel producers out there in that they really like to produce where it comes from, or terroir-driven style wines that offer lots of complexity, strong flavors, lots of purity, versus I think a lot of Zins out there which are kind of that jammy black pepper sweet style Zin, which I think has a place as well. But in this particular instance, Ridge is one that really defines complexity and depth with Zinfandel. So let's give it a go and see what we think. On the nose, you definitely get the traditional pepper note to it, but to me, it has more of a white pepper rather than black pepper. The fruit profile to me is more of a red cherry with some red currant on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. On the palate, it definitely delivers with that pepper component. It has a bit of an edge of a kind of a savory component, which is not commonly associated with Zinfandel. It's got quite a bit of tannin, again, which is not commonly associated with Zinfandel. Lots of red berry fruit, good fresh acidity. I would put this wine with more complex dishes, which is not something you traditionally see with Zin, because it's a very complex, layered style Zin. I would put it with more of your slow-cooked meals, your full-flavored ethnic meals. This can handle slow-cooked rabbits. It can handle Muscovy duck. It can handle venison. It can handle veal chop. It can handle lamb sirloin, because there's a lot to the depth of this wine. The regular price for the Ridge is $34.99. The special rebuy price for our wine club members is $31.49, and the case price with this is $356.90. So if you're interested in picking up some fantastic complex layered Zin, I strongly recommend giving this one a go, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The second wine that we're going to have for you is a Merlot. Yes, I already hear the bit of weeping, Merlot, not Merlot, Merlot is not good. I think after you guys try this one, you might have a second opinion on what Merlot is all about. The reason I think Merlot has gotten such a bad rap is kind of why Pinot Noir is exploding all over the place. Wine marketers, wine companies, winemakers, and I can say this because I have worked for several wineries, saw an opportunity, and they saw that a lot of people liked Merlot. So without a whole lot of thought of where it grows well, they planted it anywhere and everywhere, and as a result, there were produced more bad examples than good. This particular Merlot that I've selected is the exception to the rule. This is from a winery called Celine. It's a 2002 vintage from Napa Valley. And the owner and winemaker behind this wine is a gal named Mia Klein, who, for those who are the big cab fans out there, may know a winery called Dalle Valle, which is a cult Cabernet that's very hard to get a hold of. Mia Klein was the winemaker for that wine and has since left to start her own winery. This is a Merlot that I think is going to be more like the expectation of what the global standard is, which would be Bordeaux, specifically the right bank of Bordeaux, Saint-Emilion, Pomerol. One of your most expensive wines in the world is a wine called Chateau Petrus, which is primarily made up of Merlot from that region of Pomerol, Bordeaux. But we're talking about Celine, so let's see what we got here. Wow, on the nose it is very complex, very deep, lots of layers. Fruit is there, but fruit is integrated. I mean, fruit almost plays a secondary component to, layers of minerality, layers of earth. I'm excited to see what's on the palate for this one. Wow, this wine is very pure. It's got lots of kind of toast, smoke. That savory earth is following through on the palate. Kind of on a almost second thought, there is some black currant and black cherry in there, but unlike a lot of New World Merlots, it's not the lead component of this wine. Now, I really think this wine is quite young and probably needs to settle down a bit. So on two fronts, if you've already opened it with me while watching this clip, give it a second, pop it in a decanter if you've got one. If you don't have a decanter, any type of pitcher device will work that can handle giving it a bit of air and a bit of a beating, because it has a really dense structure to it that is big. I mean, it's making it a very, very strong flavored wine. A bit of air, I think, will soften a bit of that edge and will allow some more of the fruit to come through that I know is there. But this is a classic example of what Merlot should be like, especially at this price point. The regular price for this wine is $49.99, and the special rebuy price for our wine club members is $44.99, with a special case price of $509.90. The complexity and flavor profile of this wine really lends itself to stronger flavored foods, or wines that have some really rich textures that can counter against the big tannins that you'll find in this wine. So things like venison, I think, are perfect for this wine. Next time you have venison, think Celine Merlot. But I really want to conclude with saying that if you thought all Merlots were wimpy, I think we've changed your opinion.